Hi guys. So Charles Walker, Tory MP, Tory backbencher, has been complaining constantly about restrictions and lockdowns. He wants all of them to end. He doesn't want any type of restrictions. He doesn't want any type of lockdown. Now, he's going to be called out by a professor for basically throwing a temper tantrum, but I want to hear what he has to say first, and then we're going to hear from the professor.
If we're going to start citing our own personal situations as a reason for doing something or not, we're getting into very dangerous territory. This isn't about what happened to me. It's not about what's happening to everybody in the cabinet. It's about the fact that millions and millions of our constituents are under an enormous amount of stress. And what we've done now today is perhaps rob them of that hope that was keeping them going. I'm really sorry, but I'm not getting into this game where somehow a death from coronavirus is different from a death from cancer or a death from heart disease. We accept that 20-odd thousand people die from flu every year. We accept that 617,000 people die every year from old age, but somehow you're not allowed to die from coronavirus ever.
Okay, that's a complete misrepresentation of the situation. But just to stay on Charles Walker for a moment, I talked about him before and I showed you his record where he doesn't really care about the poor. Otherwise, he would have voted to improve their lot in life. So when he says that he cares about people, you really have to take it with a pinch of salt. I think he's more about inflating his own ego or building some sort of career within the Conservative Party. Anyway, let's get back to the point that he's raising here. This is about protecting healthcare systems, be it in the UK, be it in any other country in the world. Because if the healthcare system collapses, then we can't treat anyone for anything. That's why we're protecting, for example, in the UK, the NHS. That has to be protected because if it collapses, we're in deep crap. This is not about every life. Look, every life is important. We try to save as many lives as possible. We know we can't save every life. What he's doing is trying to misrepresent the situation. This is not about saving every life and not allowing anyone to die whatsoever. This is about protecting the NHS, protecting the healthcare system. As I said before, because if that collapses, we're in deep crap.
We cannot cancel life to preserve every life.
What do you say to the Charles Walkers who've basically had enough?
To be honest, I mean, it sounds like a child having a tantrum because they want a unicorn for their birthday and no one can give them a unicorn. I mean, come on, we're in a pandemic and there are hard choices to be made and no one wants to be in a lockdown. And we are all suffering through this, the poor more than anyone else, and those who are living in crowded housing and who are, at risk of loneliness.
Well said, well said. Somebody has finally said that. The Charles Walkers of this world, many people, middle-class people, are not suffering in the same way as the working class are suffering. People who live in crowded buildings and aren't able to get out. People who live on the 17th floor of a tower block, who can't go and do exercise or whatever. Their situation is much more drastic. And as I've said before, if the Charles Walkers, the Tory MPs who complain on a daily basis about any type of restriction, are the same people when it comes to increasing welfare payments or increasing some sort of support for the working class or the disabled, they will vote it down every time.
In abusive situations, but just because we're angry about a lockdown, it's not presenting us a solution. The solution is, how do we make this be the last lockdown? How do we do this properly to get our numbers low, build a system to keep them low, and put in place what we need to actually do that? And if the trade-off is actually we can't travel internationally, well, people in Australia and in New Zealand and in East Asia have accepted that trade-off. They get their life back. They get pubs, restaurants, concerts, music, sports, schools, an essential part, but they can't go abroad on holiday. That's the cost. And I don't understand why holidays provoke such furor when our schools being closed don't.
I agree 100%. Why are we so angry about, I want to be able to travel abroad? We have to close the borders. We have to restrict people's movement within even within the borders, in order to eliminate the pandemic. If we bring it down to a level that's manageable, then we can return to normality. We have to bring the numbers down. And I've been talking about this for over a year. Almost a year. Not over a year, almost a year. We need to bring the numbers down to a level where it's manageable. And at that stage, then we can start returning to normality. But unfortunately, you'll have so many people complaining about the means in order to bring down the numbers that they don't actually care about the numbers themselves. And unfortunately, if those people win out, we're going to be stuck with this for much longer than we have to. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?